What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at Scion.com.
PNC received a news tip about a load of unused equipment that was returned by the Guam Department of Education to the General Services Agency. When we went to the GSA, we in fact found pallets of unused child safety seats still in their boxes. GSA Chief Procurement Officer Claudia Ekfazi explains.
We just received these safeguard seats from DOE. It was turned in on Wednesday, just this 2 days ago.
As per Guam law, all agencies must send any items or equipment that they no longer have a use for to GSA. In this case, however, the items were never even used.
I was actually going to touch base with the supply administrator at DOE to find out, did they turn this in by mistake or what have you, because it's a lot. In fact, they turned in, according to their report, they turned in 610 boxes of the safeguard seats, but after doing an inventory from our side, we counted 747 boxes. And you can see the disparity in that it's a lot more they turned in versus what they wrote on paper. And again, you talk about loss of revenues.
$99,993.85 worth of revenues to be exact. Also, while DOE's report shows 610 safety seats and GSA's count shows 747 seats, a letter from the manufacturer Easy Way Safety Services says they purchased 860 seats. DOE Deputy Superintendent Rob Millay says their records show that only 610 seats were purchased.
Well, I'm not sure where the other numbers came from. I'm not sure where the number of the manufacturer came from or what was actually being counted at GSA. I don't know what is inside of all the particular boxes. But what I do know is on our purchase order, it does state clearly that 610 restraint systems were ordered in 2005.
Millay explains that the seats were returned to GSA because their life expectancy had run out and DOE could no longer use the seats. But why weren't the seats ever used in the first place? Millay says that the seats were purchased long before he or Superintendent John Fernandez took the positions they now hold. In fact, he says they were purchased by an employee who no longer works for DOE. In 2004, transportation regulations for the Head Start program had changed, and to meet those regulations, an order was placed for these safety seats. When the seats arrived, DOE tried to give them to the Department of Public Works for use on the buses that transport Head Start children, but Millay says that DPW denied the seats, saying they did not meet their regulations.
There were regular attempts to see if DPW would be able to use it, and again the answer was, we won't be able to use it. So I think that became an annual type of request, and unfortunately they weren't able to use it. This was a problem that should have been mitigated before the order even went in, and it wasn't. That communication prior to making the order would have resolved this problem before we even got the equipment on island.
Ekfazi says this is an example of why GSA needs to remain as the centralized place where all unused or unusable equipment ends up. She's concerned that Bill 157 may allow autonomous agencies to dispose of these items themselves.
The check and balance is going to be lost. And the reason is because this is where the balance comes in, where, hey, we want to find out, why are we wasting $99,000 of supplies or government spending, right?
It should be pointed out, however, that at first glance, it appears that Bill 157 only authorizes autonomous agencies to keep the proceeds of the sale of any unusable items.